Ever wonder what it takes to prepare a 10-year-old for the global stage while also making sure they stay deeply rooted in their own culture? Well, today we're going to look at a pretty fascinating answer to that question. We're breaking down Algeria's official English curriculum for fifth graders. We'll explore its big picture philosophy, its core goals, and what it all actually looks like in the classroom. You know, right from the very beginning of the official syllabus, you get this one powerful line. It's basically the mission statement for the entire program. This isn't just about learning new words. It's about positioning English as a key to unlock direct, global scientific knowledge. And that one idea, it's the engine that drives everything we're about to see. So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to start with the big vision, the why behind teaching English this early. Then, we'll zoom in on the kind of student they're aiming to create. From there, we'll dive into the 4 pillars that form the learning framework, see how that all plays out in the classroom, and then finally, we'll look at the big project that ties it all together. All right, so first things first. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the lessons, let's really try to understand the vision here. Why introduce English at this specific age? What's the big picture thinking behind this whole thing? The curriculum lays out 4 super clear reasons. It's about plugging into global development, getting access to science and technology, and, of course, encouraging cultural exchange. But here's the kicker. It's also a national priority. It's actually rooted in an Algerian law that says students need to master at least 2 foreign languages. So this isn't just a good idea, it's official policy. So, with that huge vision in mind, what's the actual goal for each student walking out of the classroom? The syllabus is really specific about this. The whole point is to create what they call a globally competent individual. So what does global competence really mean for a 10-year-old? Well, it's not about being perfectly fluent, not yet. It's actually way more practical. It boils down to a 4-part skill set. Can you understand what you hear? Can you respond back? Can you read a simple written message? And can you write a simple one yourself? It's all about building that solid practical foundation. But skills are only half the story here. The curriculum is also designed to instill some very specific values. And this is where it gets really interesting, because there's this fantastic balancing act going on. It works to reinforce a strong national identity, being proud to be Algerian, Muslim, Arab, and Amazigh, while at the exact same time promoting this idea of being open to the world. The goal is to create a student who is totally grounded in who they are, but also completely ready to engage with anyone, anywhere. Okay, so we've got the vision and we know the kind of student they want to create, but how do you actually build that globally competent kid? Well, the syllabus answers this by structuring everything around 4 core pillars of competence. And these pillars, they build on each other in a really logical way. It kicks off with the intellectual. That's just knowing the what, the basic skills. Then comes the methodological part. That's knowing how to use those skills, like using context clues. Next is the communicative pillar, which is all about applying it in actual conversations. And finally, the personal and social pillar brings it all together. That's about doing it with others, working in teams, and sharing what you know. It's a whole journey, really, from knowing something to using it to sharing it. All right, let's bring all this theory down to earth. How does this actually translate to what a 10-year-old does in class every day? What are they even talking about? What are they working on? Well, the topics are all stuff that's grounded in their real world. We're talking about jobs, hobbies, their hometown, how to read a map and give directions, things like traveling, holidays. It's all relatable and useful right away. This isn't some abstract grammar class. It's language for real life. They even get into practical things like learning numbers all the way up to 100. Now, this next part is absolutely crucial to how it all works. The curriculum explicitly, and I mean explicitly, prioritizes the spoken word. The whole idea is that students listen and speak first. You build their confidence, get them comfortable making the sounds before you dive deep into the complexities of reading and writing. And when it's time for reading, the goals are kept so clear and achievable. The target isn't some complex piece of literature. It's simply to be able to confidently read and understand a short, simple message of about 40 words. That's the goal. And you see the exact same principle with writing. The goal isn't to crank out a long essay. It's about being able to put together a clear, coherent message of about 20 words. It's another perfect example of building a core skill, one step at a time. So, after a whole year of learning new words, practicing speaking, and developing these 4 big competencies, how does it all come together? How do you wrap it all up? The syllabus has a great answer for this, a final, hands-on project. This capstone project is called My Booklet. It's basically a personal portfolio where each student gathers everything they've created throughout the year. Their written work, their drawings, maps they've made, posters, you name it. It becomes this tangible record of their learning journey, a showcase of their new skills, and honestly, something they can be really, truly proud of. So when you step back, you realize this is so much more than just a language class. It's a carefully designed program to build a specific type of citizen, one who is deeply proud of their heritage, yet fully equipped and confident to engage with the entire world. And this brings us to a final, really fascinating question to chew on. How does teaching a global language not just open a door to the world, but also maybe reshape and even strengthen a national identity?